Welcome to Onivia, League of Legends highlights. These are the best highlights from today's LPL matchup.
Top lane, because we just witnessed 1xN E-forwards as Milky Way is entering the bottom lane. This is an opportunity for FPX to start the bot lane strong. Flash force, but the Q goes wide from life, and it means now 1xN can chase. Now Baytron can flash forward for first blood, and he gets his first reset to set up for a second kill. Life has nowhere to go. Double for 1xN.
Yeah, there's no Milky Way in the sky tonight. It is
Exhaust
just
in top lane means you don't need it in bot lane. 1xN and Feather can take a heal instead of that exhaust. It means they can be more lane dominant. The problem when you give that counter pick support over as well. Braum is not an uncounterable champion.
Oh my
Thought they might even just die.
They're just gonna kill him with the tower. Life gets his shield up. It won't save him. Feather tanks, and then a flash cleanse over the wall from 1xN, so he gets away. Care though, stuck inside the circle, looking for the reset, but flashes just after power early for Ezreal. Just completely ignored this game. 1xN already basically stacked for the steer as Care is caught in the mid lane. Dashes away from the damage though. Very nicely played on the Lucian, and the tower shot goes through. Care flips it around.
Baytron misses the stun and his ult. Care manages to sidestep all of it. Now Milky Way comes to answer. Yukal has flash.
Yukal is doomed and he can't turn it around. Care finds two off of a 2v1 in mid. See that happening again today now Malignance is finished off. It does seem to be
full build.
Doesn't it?
Remember the full build Poppy, which is teleport wars. The Observer is very zoomed in on that.
The Observers do something we didn't there. Double TP, ZDZ and Care come into the play. They want to shut down 1xN and shut him down. They will. ZDZ grabs the bonus gold.
Close out the game.
Baytron gets the shield away from the ace in the hole. Doctor moves up to try and secure this crowd. Herald is up on the map, and it looks like FPX really want to fight for it, but TT not going away without a fight. The ZDZ's on the top side of the play, gets stunned by Baytron, but that's not a 1v1. Baytron wins. Has to ult over the wall himself as Yukal finishes the job onto the lightning rat. Care trying to do the opposite to Feather here. This True Shot Barrage goes through, hits only Doctor, but here comes Hoya looking for the all-out. He'll just find the support as a cheeky little freebie on the bottom side of the play. TT take Herald.
They've really tried to set up this, haven't they? The Observer's toggling on that fog of war. Yeah, Feather's been here for a while. Baytron's here now. Here's the teleport. ZDZ, this has been well overdue.
Yeah, Herald slammed down. ZDZ has the slicing maelstrom, but Hoya has that exhaust. Keep your eyes on Hoya, slamming that summoner spell as soon as ZDZ pops the ultimate. And in fact, he does. And in fact, it saves the team. And in fact, the tower goes down. And in fact, the cannon goes down. But it will be traded for a tower for Care on the top side. However, we're looking at a second charge. We could be looking at 2 towers here for TT.
Hold that. 5% attack speed and that cooldown reduction is a big price for them. So, the overall trade is kill, tower, bit of a charge onto that inner tower as, like, you know, magical bolts instead of actual, you know, I think
at the Olympics maybe that might be cheating, to be honest.
Yeah, well, maybe that's why he's not here. He's bracing the Summoner's Rift instead. Engage comes through.
1xN's core has to cleanse. Jumps away from Milky Way, but can't return the damage, and there goes Feather as Hoya now on a flank, and Yukal wants to follow up as well. Live takes a chunk and will be finished off. There's one reset for the Braum, but can't find the passive. And now ZDZ has found himself behind enemy lines totally alone. Slicing Maelstrom available, but I don't think it's going to save him. Bit of damage across, but he falls once again.
FPX, they overstep. We called this out. If this happened a few minutes later around a Baron spawn, that could have been really game-changing.
ZDZ as well, kind of just caught off on the side. Milky Way caught out again. You just said if it happens around the Baron, well, guess what? Milky Way dies right next to the Baron. The rookie of the split, the superstar of spring, falls just as the biggest objective appears on the map. TT, not only should they get this Baron, but Drake's up again in 2 minutes as well, and they'll have Baron to set it up. FPX have to make a miracle happen. Ace in the hole does diddly squat. Care has to carry, but the Baron is already gone. Hoya trying to set it up here as Care will be the one to go down. And Baytron finding more and more resets. ZDZ's got nothing in the tank, and TT obliterate FPX.
FPX find nothing at the Baron pit except thunder, lightning, and a lost team fight. TT, they have managed to recover a couple of their stumbles from earlier in the game, and they are now very firmly in a game-winning position. Baron buff, which can lead into that soul. They have themselves their 2-item spike on 1xN, and the whole team is firing off on all cylinders. FPX.
Highest I've ever seen on that chart. That is insane. Ucal doing some crazy things on the Aurora. H1 happy to follow up with those resets, but it's been a beautiful game here from TT. Hoya tanks up the culling. Feels like Care has to carry, but it feels basically impossible. As ZDZ jumps onto the back line, he's going to get Feather, but at what cost? Because the rest of the team is falling to pieces. 1xN happy to carry it as Hoya finishes off his late opponent. And Milky Way all alone in the world, and 1xN wants a bit of revenge for one attempted gank down in the bot lane early.
Aww.
You don't get away with nothing this time around.
Yeah, I don't think that's a kind little buddy in the mid lane. That is the killer buddy rabbit. Ucal gets onto the back line, and TT, they just end this game around that dragon. They get that soul. They still have that Baron. A 7,000 Baron power play. A lot of our worries about Nirvana versus Ascend, I think we can put them to rest at least for now. This should be now a very, very competitive series, hopefully, after this point. FPX, they has very much gone out of proportion. 10,000 gold lead before 24 minutes. That's not okay, Joe.
It's a problem for another game, but honestly, FPX should be thinking about problems for other games at this point. We've seen that at all from ZDZ. He's been looking for these flanks, and it's not worked out at all. Oh, Doctor.
Oh, Doctor. Well, this is why it doesn't work out. How can you play around organized team fights when you don't have an AD carry? Doctor lost lane, and he has kind of proceeded to do very, very little, because then you're a Caitlyn, you just can't do anything.
Yeah. I mean, that last death just feels like tilt, doesn't it? There's no way a professional player should be caught out in that kind of position. That is a little egregious as a blast code to knock Ucal in. Okay, Milky Way, I see you. Gets the blast code for the engage. There we go, Lesriels. He's away this time as Baron had been started by H1 and Ucal, but they peel away. 5v5 on the cards, but Milky Way just ain't tanky enough. The Mystic shots do not know how to miss. And 1xN continues to snowball these fights like crazy. True Shot Barrage almost available again as well, and Milky Way is already chunked. A walk away with his life, but just the one pick is enough as a flash forward from H1. ZDC locks him up,
Two levels
but
up.
there's just no damage, and H1 1v1s the enemy top lane.
He's 2 levels up on the cannon. Yeah, you were calling out that cannon earlier. Where are the aggressive angles? Why aren't they working out? Well, they've been very well countered by TT, but also now at this point, there's just no XP. There's just no gold, and there's no hope in this one. We said FPX, well, they probably need to look towards a Baron steal. Now so easily shredded through by TT. They'll get themselves their first inhib. They don't even need to back off for the Elder if they don't want to. Why give FPX the chance to get a miracle steal when you just push into the base?
Well, TT, with the Baron, with the Hex Soul, they grab themselves that bottom inhib, and immediately they sort of do everything in their power to... Oh, hang on, 1xN goes for these. I've seen him do it before. Life next on the chopping block. Colin comes on in and DDZ catches him. It's a shutdown and a half as Feather and Ucal trying to get on the bottom side of the player will find ZDZ. Hoya looking to be the engage as Feather goes over the wall looking for a tether, but he can't find Care, and the stun goes wide on Doctor. TT lose their big carry. Can't really snowball the fight.
And Feather really shows that Raptor what for. Tethers up the big Raptor instead. The Elder is still up. Life is still down. ZDZ is still down. It's a 4v3 around the Elder.
It's 3v3 right now as Hoya TP's back into the mid lane. He could get a flank angle here. This could be disastrous for FPX, and Care suddenly realizes what's going on. Pulled into the fray and taken to pieces. TT, they start strong in the bottom lane. They dominate the mid game, and now Hoya wants a slice of the action as we enter the late game. Elder taken, and TT show us that Nirvana ain't done just yet. Their group matters too. As Ucal finds a bonus. That'll be game, and that'll be TT taking the first of the series.
Yeah, are they Nirvana or are they AC/DC? Either way, I think FPX have been thunderstruck. This has not been a close mid to late game. The Aurora is let through, the Ezreal goes off, and TT slammed through this first game.
FPX looking a little bit lost across the course of this one. His life tries to 2v1. He's done everything he can as a Braum in that situation, but honestly, the Braum pick did not work at all. TT, a beautiful draft, a beautiful game, and honestly, a little bit of flexing from them across the course of game 1.
These were the best highlights from today's LPL matchup. Click that subscribe button faster than Ramus can say okay. See you on the next one.